Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is an AMX 13F3AM. It's the tier 6 French SPG and we're located on the south spawn of Sand River. In fact, actually south spawn, it's the defending spawn of Sand River Assault. Okay, battle has commenced. Now the name of the player is Rest in Pieces. And I think you can see there that he's actually using the stock gun. This is not the top gun that you would normally see on the AMX 13F3, which is normally a long 155mm. This is a short fat one, which is the stock gun. Okay. It's still a 155mm howitzer, but it's a little less accurate than the other gun. The main benefit actually of this particular howitzer is that it's actually lighter than the Top Gun, which means that the AMX 13F3 can actually accelerate faster and go faster. So some people like the short fat gun even though it has less accuracy, and they prefer it. It's actually got a faster fire rate as well. It can load in under 30 seconds. It's a bit of a trade-off. Accuracy for speed of movement and speed of reload. But his first shell didn't do anything, so let's see if he can get something on his next shell. There's an Emil 1 sitting in the riverbank, and he's about to be assaulted by that 5916. He's cheekily come up alongside and pumping shells in now. Can Rest in Pieces put some shells into that Emil? Well, he splashes him for 127 hit points, 2 critical hits. Unfortunately, the 5916 is lost. It was a bit cheeky to do that, and really you shouldn't stay still. If you come up against a superior tank like an Emil 2, you should, or Emil 1, you should move. Now, the other drawback of the AMX is it does have a shorter range than the with the stock gun than the Top Gun, and you can see that because the reticule is slightly flattened. It's become oval at this range. Okay, rounds out, and that's a direct hit. 31 hit points only, but it's still a kill, and a kill's a kill. And the Jagdpanzer just dived off the cliff, going after the FCM. And the FCM is in a very difficult position now because that Jagdpanzer is going to get him. In fact, actually, it was a Type 64 that shot him from the side, but that Type 64 has been taken out. And the Jagdpanzer is making his way down the riverbed. And Rest in Pieces fires around, but nope, doesn't hit anything. Now, the enemy has got a Centurion in the one line, and of course we know the Emil in the riverbed. And it's a difficult, once the enemy does get possession of the riverbed, it's difficult for the defending team to do much about it unless they go down there to fight it out and slug it out with them. And the reason for that is obviously that they can be seen from the riverbed as they're moving towards it. And it's also difficult for the Arty players because they can only really fire east or west from their position. And that round went in and actually did stun the Jagdpanzer. So he's picked up some stun assistance there when the damage was done by the other Arty. Now the other Arty on his team is a Geschutzwagen Panther, GW Panther, and he's already got 2 kills. So, oh no, he's just been wiped out. He was taken out by the enemy AMX 13F3. And that Centurion is getting mightily close to Rest in Pieces, so he needs to move. He needs to move now. Very close. He's within 1 grid square, 1.5 grid square, so he's 150 meters away. Oh, thank God, he's just been taken out by the Scorpion. And that round splashed the Emil. He's picked up 218 hit points there. Now that Jagdpanzer 4, the one that was fighting out with the FCM earlier in the battle, he's actually come a long way west, and he's now going to fight it out with the Jagdpanzer 4. Now we're watching the Emil, who's over on the east side of the map, but that Jagdpanzer IV is getting close. And so, rest in pieces, needs to think about moving. There's 5 minutes of this battle to go. It is an assault battle. And you suddenly realise that where that Jagdpanzer is, and it is close. It is very close. Yep, he's suddenly twigged that he's in grave danger. He's almost loaded. Dialing in the aim. Needs to see where it is. Oh, he got him! He fired blind. He got a blind kill. I always love it when that happens. I've done a few myself. I know exactly what it feels like when you know where the enemy must be or should be. So you fire a shot in and suddenly the wreck of the enemy tank appears. You know you've done your job right. Okay, that SU-152. Let's hope he doesn't move. Oh, he does move. He's fired and the round goes in front of him, not on him. He's still getting a request for fire. That crosshair's above the tank. A request for fire assistance on that target. There are still 6 enemy alive. And there's only 4 on Rest in Peace's team. But there's 4 minutes to go. Only 4 minutes. Now, if I was on his team right now, I'd be headed north up the 1 line as quickly as I can to get to the corner at G1. And then if the rest of the Rest in Peace's team gets wiped out, he can then quickly escape north to get to A1 and hide there and wait for the clock to run out. The enemy might try to cap, but usually they try to kill all, in which case they'll go hunting for him and they'll be looking in the wrong place. Right, going after that STRV. He managed to get 102 hit points on it, and he also got some stun assists, which is rather nice. And he's complaining that the rest of his team are bots. Well, there's only one of them left. The T-34-2G FT, Chinese tank destroyer. He needs to get out of there. He needs to head north. He needs to get out now. Instead, what he's doing is hiding behind the wreck of the GW Panther. He knows that there's 2 minutes 45 seconds to go. And there's this T-34-2G of the enemy team hunting for him. Or hunting for one of his teammates. He's lining up a shot. This will give away his position if he does hit the T-34. And he did stun him. Okay, now he's heading north. But he's only heading north to adjust his position a little. He's relying on the T-34-2G of his own team, just there in the picture, to spot for him. Almost reloaded. Okay, he's ready to go. Now, when last seen, that T-34-2G was just over the other side. Now he's moved. He's in a different position. Round out. And that's a kill shot. 183 hit points. It takes him out of the game, so he's relocating. And this time, yeah, heads a little bit north again. It does avoid counter battery. But that was the 2-minute hooter. So if he and the T-34-2G can stay alive a little longer, they'll win the battle. The enemy has still got 5 tanks alive. They've got a GW Panther, an AMX 13F3, an SU-152, a T-20 and a Striv S1. Now they must all be in the back of the map by now. They must be in the south, the bottom rows, J row and K row. They must be. Be mad not to at this stage of the battle, when there's only 2 facing them. But no one's gone into the cap, which is quite usual for assault battles. People forget about the cap. They're so busy trying to kill the enemy, they forget to cap. Now they're capping, but it's a bit late to start capping. 50 seconds to go. There's a tree goes down. That usually indicates somebody is there. If he can get a splash, he's hoping his teammate will just pop up over the ridgeline, find out where they are. There's not enough time for them to cap as it is anyway. He lines up the shot on the SU-152 and he gets a hit. 243 hit points and it resets the clock. But the SU-152 now knows where the T-34-2G FT is. and he's headed for him. They've stopped the cap because the SU-152 wants the kill, and that's a big mistake. He's targeting him. Oh, that tank took a big hit, and he's ram killed him. So that means that Rest in Peace is all alone, and he's killed the SU-152, but he's all alone, and the clock's run out, and he's won. It's a Kolobanov. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Yes, it is a Kolobanov Medal. He got a first-class tanker. Rest in peace is the AMX 13 F3 AM. He picked up a Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8. He got a Fighter Badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4. But lastly, he got the Kolobanov Medal. He stood alone against at least 5 enemies and won by letting the clock run out on an assault. The enemy failed to cap. They failed to kill all of the enemy of his team. And so as a result, he wins the battle. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he comes 4th on damage, 1,162 hit points. He came top when it came to kills with 4. And when it came to base XP, he was top again with 889. Detailed report, he fired 14 rounds, got 4 direct hits, 4 penetration and 8 splash. He did damage of 1,162 hit points, of which 1,140 were at more than 300 meters. So he did get a close hit, and that was on the Jagdpanzer IV. He hit 6 of the enemy, but killed 4 of them. And he did stun assistance damage of 906 hit points off 8 stuns. And when he took out or hit the SU-152, he got 28 defense points. On a premium account, he earned 40,358 credits. And after ammunition resupply, and the ammunition for the 155 is relatively cheap, he took away 33,288 credits. He received 1,334 experience points, and there was no multiplier, so that's all he took away. But what he did take away was his first Kolobanov, and I'm sure he was really pleased about that. I must admit, I would have been more tempted to move further north, to sit on the corner at G1, and then obviously I was protected from the enemy coming up from the other side because they couldn't see my shots, and I would still be able to hit the enemy using the T-34 as my spotter, but at least I knew that if they took out the T-34, I could run away to the north, and there's absolutely no way they could catch me in time, and therefore the clock would run out and it would be a safe win. That's the safe tactic, but what he did worked anyway. He stood his ground, he took out the enemy, and he didn't kill them all, but he didn't need to because he managed to do the business. So, if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in our next video.